Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, we got some news in the heavyweight division. Listen, first, videos about this fight being put back, this thing being canceled, this being, all those titles. I know people have to make titles, but those are not headlines. Everything is pushed back indefinitely, right? The one article for all of the sports. And everybody seems to, hey, this fight that was in May, this fight that was in June, this fight that was in April. They're off. You should be at home. Make sure that this doesn't go any further, like China did. See, the difference with China and all these democracies, see, in democracies mean we talk about stuff. In China, dude said stay at home or else, and they're getting it contained. We can't or else people, because we're going to scream about it. But right now, you let our president tell it, you go on outside. Hey, shoot, if you're not, you're going to, well, I ain't going to say that, but he's basically said go outside, you're going to die one way or another. Or you're going to be at home and you probably do something to yourself. Stuff like that, which is ridiculous. So basically, we at home, period. So ain't no fights and shouldn't be no headlines about this fight or that fight called off and put back. You at home, you ain't watching no sport, are you? There's nothing current going on. There's no movies being made. You won't be going to the theater. All of that is off. So are fights. So no headlines there. But for fights that we want to have and things like that, and for the future, talk about that, right? So we got something going on with somebody that I like. That he's there. He gets ignored, so I always mention him, and that's Ruiz, the real King Kong Ortiz. Only got 2 losses. Those with Deontay Wilder and fights that he was winning at the time of the stoppage. Maybe not the first one, but he was at least a tie. He was up in the first one, and he was definitely winning the second one. Wilder hit him with that right hand. But Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz notoriously doesn't get fights, right? So, he just making sure he's putting people on notice. And I'm glad, it's only one article. Most of these other people talking, there's more articles. But Louis Ortiz, I'm honed in on him. And he's like, hey, look, Andy Ruiz Jr., right? Andy Ruiz Jr., you want to fight him now. Andy Ruiz Jr. wants to have a tune-up. And he's telling him, why you need a tune-up? Let's fight, right? Next. So if you bad, so that's telling you he wants him. He also put Dillian Whyte again. That's the one I'm focused on anyway. Dillian Whyte and Povetkin on notice. Y'all need to fight me. All is fighting each other. Dillian Whyte could have fought Ortiz instead of Povetkin. Povetkin coming off a loss basically to Michael Hunter. Got a draw, but we all know he lost that fight. He didn't fight Michael Hunter. But Ortiz is a guy that could have got him to Wilder a long time ago. All of us know it. Right? Dillian Whyte's out right now talking about Wilder taking a trilogy fight. That's ridiculous. Or I would have beat Coward Wilder. Right? Like he's a coward. Wilder's been taking significant fights, mandatories. The one Dominic Brazil fight. He took that fight because you didn't fight to Brazil. You could have fought Brazil to get to Wilder. Didn't. You didn't fight Ortiz to get to Wilder. And still won't. Right? But, and Ortiz was old. You heard him say it once. But fighting Povetkin, who's damn near as old or as older. And so is Marius Vach. We know that that's documented. But see, Dillian Whyte can use the Donald Trump thing. It's a certain thing. When you have a base, Dillian Whyte is important in Britain because he's the guy that they can sick on Wilder so Wilder doesn't get to Joshua. Bottom line. That's what has been going on. This is about 2.5, 3 years now. We know what time it is because Dillian Whyte has had the opportunity several times to get to Wilder. Several. And he could just do any of the things that WBC, Wilder himself, Luis Ortiz has been crying for, like he's doing right now. Still. And seeing though that Wilder has fights with trilogy fight with Fury, beating Ortiz in America is ridiculous. Or anywhere. Even in England, that would be huge. Fill up a stadium, probably. Right? But that fight gets ignored. We're going to take Povetkin. Right? Now, Dillian Whyte shouldn't be talking that loud anyway, seeing as the doping issue he just came off of with a B sample we never saw. But he's continuously talking about everything except Ortiz. That's why it's good when Ortiz reminds you, y'all shouldn't be fighting, both of y'all should be fighting me. Either one of you. I'd shut you up. And it's significant because nobody is more important than Ortiz. We try to act like it. When you see that the media and everybody acts like somebody is not that good, trust me, he's going to be awesome. Like a Demetrius Andre, like a Guillermo Rigondeaux, right? Things like that. People just act like they're not there, but they're there, right? They act like they're not there. I'll get to Andre in another video. But the point is, bottom line is Luis the Real King Kong Ortiz has put Andy Ruiz Jr., has put Dillian Whyte again and Povetkin on notice. Y'all need to be fighting me. And I stop running around talking about everything else. And I think right now that would be more significant. Because for in Dillian Whyte's case, beating Ortiz, like I said before, is major. It's the biggest fight with not a title on hand. You know, if you don't have a title up for grabs, I think Dillian Whyte versus Ortiz is the biggest fight you would make. There would be a huge people. Everybody would want to see that fight. Everybody would want to see that fight. And the reason we're not getting it is Dillian Whyte. But he's using his time, if he's not doped, to get talk about Wilder constantly, right? Instead of the way you could have got to Wilder a long time ago. We said this is 2020. I'm talking about 2017, 18, 19, right? And it's documented. So you don't get upset at me. Just go read it, and then you can start asking your guy. Because Dillian Whyte uses the Trump thing. It's like, hey, if I'm in trouble, let me say something that's going to excite my base. And my base is happy if I say something about Deontay Wilder every time, right? Instead, his base and no one from the base would say, hey, look, dude, why don't you just beat Ortiz up, and then if the world's going to ask you to fight Wilder or something, they won't ask him that. Trump in trouble, he's gonna just say something derogatory to some people of color or anything. Hey, let me build the wall. Let me keep the racist, the rapist, and the criminals on one side when he's talking about Latinos. Hey, send them back to where they belong. They come from. When he's telling the senators of color to go back to where you come from. All those things, the SOBs that's kneeling by the national anthem or whatever. It's just all of the one thing after another. So, but that excites the base when he's in trouble about something. Something like that's gonna come up. Dillian Whyte does the same thing, and it keeps working. So it's on the base to say, "Hey, ho, Dillian Whyte, why you talking? What's up with Ortiz?" So all you gotta do, make him address it. And if he comes with the, "Hey, man, he's old," you say, "Well, Povetkin and Va," and then see what happens. And matter of fact, do a poll of you guys over there, right? Do a poll saying, "Hey, who would you want Dillian Whyte to fight that don't have a title?" Right? After they don't have a title. 'Cause we know Joshua will be a big fight. We know Tyson Fury will be a big fight. We know Wilder will be a big fight. Somebody without a title. Right? Because Wilder's still in the title race with the trilogy thing going on. Right? He's got to go through that. So who else was there? Yeah, Povetkin, would he be first? I guarantee you the most of them would say your boy would say they would talk about Andy Ruiz maybe, but the one that would win would be Luis the Real King Kong Ortiz. And that's on both sides of the pond. So that's what we need to be talking about. Keep talking Ortiz once a week. Be in the headlines some kind of way. Make sure that they don't forget you because they trying to. Dope Sports Talk worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.